An acquaintance of mine within the YouTube commentary space here on the left made a video that I didn't even know existed until a minute ago, because someone in chat told me about this video, but I'm surprised I hadn't already seen it. You see, I hate Jared Leto. And I've hated him way before Morbius was like a meme and everybody was like, ah, fuck Jared Leto. He's a terrible actor. Morbius is awful. Yada yada. I hated him well before that, because for quite some time, if you were aware of it, then it's been obvious that Jared Leto is a huge fucking creep. Just a massive weirdo. Just a weirdo. I've heard that he literally brands women on his sex cult, or that are in his sex cult, that he runs off of a private island. They're all fans of him. Like, he unironically does, like, a mass-scale version of what Thought Slime accused me of. He basically requires them to be loyal to him and, like, mark themselves with him. They sleep in a bed with him, like a giant fucking bed they all sleep in with him on this island, and they, like, live there with him for long periods of time. I don't know all of the details. I'm sure that we're about to learn a lot more from the bit of this video we're going to be watching. Obviously, we're not going to watch all of Ryan Beard's video, but I'm going to go ahead and drop their video link in the chat right now and in the YouTube description when this video goes up, so you guys can all go watch the remainder of it yourself. We don't just rip the entire video here. We don't try to make a market replacement for the original video. I want you guys to be spurned to go watch the rest of the original. So go send some support over to Ryan Beard for sure. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here. Pog. All right. So, Jared Leto, massive creep. I know a basic few things about this topic. Like, I know he's a piece of shit and he's weird, and I've known this for a while, something that's surprisingly not as well known as you would hope it is. But I don't know the half of it, I'm sure. I'm sure I don't know the half of it. Like, yeah, Jared Leto is probably Jeffrey Epstein Jr., and I've only heard some of the most memeable things. Anyway, I'm excited to watch this video because I like Ryan Beard's videos. We actually had a little bit of a falling out a while ago, but have since kind of mended the bridge mostly, so it's kind of nice to watch one of their videos that I didn't even know existed on a topic that I really wish more people were covering, because, man, there needs to be way more hate for this guy than there is. Like, Morbius did not... Like, the hate that Jared Leto got because of Morbius wasn't the right kind of hate that he deserves. Like, Jared Leto, from what I can tell, is an actually bad person. And, like, just making fun of him in a very innocent way, like the Morbius memes, is way too good for what he deserves as far as internet ridicule. Anyway, let's watch this. I'm excited to see this video because, you know, I hate Jared Leto, and I feel like this is going to be really cathartic for me.
There is currently a war raging in Hollywood to see who is the coolest guy. Who is the biggest alpha Chad who slays the most puss? The war is obviously a very close race between Machine Gun Kelly and Jared Leto. They're both filmmakers, they both have amazing style, they're both certified rock stars, and while MGK likes emo girls...
Well, I don't think Machine Gun Kelly has done anything, like, weird, right? I don't know much about him, but, like, no weird shit that I need to know about? I mean, maybe you guys know. But, like, is there going to be a but? There's one big difference, though, and then we're about to get into the Jared Leto stuff? Why do people hate Morbius, though? I watched and it was just kind of mid-IDK. All right, Gotsugo 2. I am usually right with you on that, okay? Usually when there's one, like a big movie, like a big superhero movie, for example, that the entire internet is shitting on, and I go and watch it, either I think it was just kind of mid or surprisingly better than I expected, because my expectations will have been so low. I watched Morbius with the lowest possible expectations because of all of the memes, and was genuinely disappointed. It was so bad and boring. The reason it was so bad mostly was because of cringe in some places. Not really, like, entertaining cringe. Like, Spider-Man Homecoming is a cringe movie. on purpose, because you're supposed to feel the awkward feeling that Peter Parker has at such a young age, like high school boy, like trying to impress the girl he likes. He's really awkward and doesn't know what to say or do, very little social skills. Like, it's meant to be cringe. That's on purpose. Morbius was cringe on accident while taking itself extremely seriously. So it's cringe both, like, the movie itself is cringe, like what's happening is cringe, but then it's cringe on a metatextual level, because the movie is taking its cringy self so seriously that on its own adds a whole extra layer of painful cringe on top of the cringe you're already feeling watching the movie. And on top of that, it's painfully boring and uninteresting just in general. Like, the premise of Morbius, definitely fine. Like, they could have done something with that, but the execution in every way was unpleasant. It was a very colorless movie, for starters. It wasn't pleasant to look at. It was very dark, which, granted, it's a vampire movie, but also, come on. Even the daytime scenes are really washed out and gray. Very little color, very little light. It had this very uninteresting to look at design and aesthetic for everything. The action scenes were okay at times, but because I wasn't really attached to the characters or the movie itself, it was hard to really care enough to be entertained by them. And then at the very end, what really cemented my hatred of the movie Morbius was the ending, where his girlfriend gets bitten, and they do that teaser where she, like, opens her eyes at the very end for the, like, cliffhanger ending, like, whoa, aren't you excited to see what happens next? That actually upset me, because it's like, no, I'm not excited to find out what happens next. I'm happy this movie is over. How dare you bait me with a cliffhanger as if I would give a fuck about watching the sequel? Like, that was what especially upset me, was that goddamn they took themselves so seriously. They did, like, a hyper attempt at being epic and suspenseful cliffhanger at the end for a character that has no characterization or build up, that we don't give a fuck about in a movie. We don't give a fuck. I could rant about how bad Morbius is all day, and it's not even because of Jared Leto. It's like, Jared Leto's an awful actor, and he's uncharismatic and awful, and that definitely plays a big factor in it. But Morbius could have just been an uncharismatic, creepy dude, and that actually kind of fits. I think the casting was actually kind of fitting. The acting could have been better, because, Jared Leto is actually just a bad actor. Like, he just is a bad actor. And if you don't believe me, look up the after credits scene of Morbius, where Michael Keaton's character, Vulture, and Morbius, like, meet up. Look at, like, just watch Jared Leto's acting in that scene. It is insanely bad. Is he a Nepo baby? Was he ever good at acting? Was he ever, like, I'm sorry, I'm ranting so hard right now. Was he ever a good actor? Or, like, was he ever, like, good in a movie that, like, blew him up or something? Or was he just, like, always some Nepo baby who just got, like, funneled into Hollywood by luck, and he's just never been talented or skilled? Because, like, his performance is actively so bad it's cringe. But they still could have made that work if the people that are supposed to supplement that did their jobs well. It's just a bad movie through and through. It's just a dud. And it's made all the worse by the fact that Jared Leto himself is a bad person and had such a big part to play in the movie.
And Jared Leto likes anime girls.
You sound like my type of fox.
They can both agree on their love for
Was that Jared Leto doing a VTuber interview? It's, like, surprised the fuck out of me in, like, the last like, something I've learned a lot, and I'm not saying this is the case for this particular VTuber. I don't know this VTuber. I don't know what their name is. I don't know. I have no clue, okay? But what I've found since like, learning that VTubers are real is that a staggering amount of these, like, borderline lolly looking like VTuber avatars are usually, like, women who cater to a Nazi audience of, like, lolicon pedophiles. There's, like, a good handful of these what do you call them, VTubers that come to mind, but, like, I've noticed that it's, like, a big thing that, like, these cutesy like VTuber avatars, like you'll look at them and you'll like hear what they have to say, and it'll just be like Holocaust denial. There's a lot of far right people in the VTuber community. Yeah, it's like it feels like it's roughly 50-50 VTuber Nazis and VTuber hyper progressive trans women. There's like dozens of them.
Like my type of fox.
They can both agree on their love for teenage girls.
Are you counting down the days until she's 18? I'm not waiting until she's 18. I'll go now.
But the one
Okay. So he's a pedo? Yeah, next the women are standing here, and Jared has begun hitting on all of them. He's a serial texter. He is constantly texting these 16, 17-year-old girls. It's really kind of creepy. Dog. They really fucking need to just cancel this guy from all of Hollywood. Sony wanted Morbius to be like the biggest movie of the year. They wanted to be a box office breaking blockbuster. They were going to try to make Jared Leto be on par with the actors in the MCU that are like in the Avengers or whatever. That's what they were trying to do to his career. Meanwhile, this is the kind of shit he gets up to. And this has been known, by the way. Like, this kind of shit that he's been up to, like the sex cult thing he has on his island, has been a thing going for years. This was before Morbius came out, or was in production, or probably before he even got hired or considered for the role. That has been known. At the end of the day, Hollywood doesn't really care when, like, an actor or someone that's, like, big in that space is a bad person. They only care once it becomes an issue. Like, once people are talking about it and that person's getting, like, canceled on Twitter, and they're like, all right, we got to blacklist you from Hollywood so our studios don't get shit whenever we release a movie with you in it. Like, that kind of thing. If anyone deserves to be blacklisted from Hollywood right now, I do think it's Jared Leto. I haven't seen him starring in any movies lately, which is nice. I hope Morbius destroyed his career, but, I mean, he's still very clearly wealthy and well-known, so I wouldn't hold my breath.
Until she's 18? I'm not waiting until she's 18. I'll go now.
But the one thing that Jared Leto has going for him that MGK...
Yeah, actually, maybe Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey may deserve it a little more than Jared Leto. Yeah, Kevin Spacey, like, every time one of his accusers would, like, wind up dead, he would put out a video that would be, like, a subtle warning to all his other accusers, like, where he'd be, like, smugly smiling and like, lightly suggesting that bad things happen to people who say bad things about him. I'm not the only one who remembers that, right? Like, I'm not making that up. Like, that happened. I'm pretty certain that happened. That wasn't, like, a skit.
Will never have is that he starred in the most successful movie of all time, Morbius. So far, Morbius has made $352 trillion at the...
That's actually more billion. Ryan Beard, come on. You saw that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 commas. This is more billion. 352 more billion dollars.
Box office, and it has a 203% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Numbers like these were previously thought to be impossible, but this should teach everyone a lesson that you don't
Dude, Morbius memes a year later, really just... Morbius memes in 2024 is what's happening right now. It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
underestimate Jared fucking Leto.
Honestly, yeah. No, the combination of the worst Joker portrayal ever and Morbius should destroy this guy's career. It really, really should.
Jared Leto also played the greatest Joker of all time in the movie Suicide Squad. His Joker
good timing.
made Joaquin
That's some
Phoenix's
good timing.
Joker look like an incel loser. Leto's Joker is a Giga Chad who wears grills and fucks bitches. Phoenix's Joker is such a pathetic incel loser that the only way he can get a girlfriend is by making one up.
That was Joker? It was supposed to be Joker. Listen, the 2017 Suicide Squad movie was a shit show, okay? They straight rebooted that shit and kept the only good things about that movie, which was that one actress is Harley Quinn, because she pulls it off very, very well. I genuinely couldn't imagine anybody else playing live action Harley Quinn. She pretty much just is that role. Like, other than that, they literally rebooted the entire series and kept her as the same actress, because that was like the one area where they were like, okay, we nailed that. Everything else we fucked up with this movie. Oh yeah, she also is Barbie, right? I don't know the name of the actress. Yeah.
Up in his mind. Which do you think is cooler? Dancing around your apartment shirtless looking like a scrawny weirdo, or laying down in a pile of knives?
That movie, as bad as it was, I would watch Suicide Squad 1, like the original one, back to back 3 times before I'd watch Morbius once. She's such a good actress, Zan. She hated that role. That doesn't surprise me that she'd hate the role.
Leto's Joker is objectively cooler in every way.
I haven't seen Barbie.
Only a fucking badass would get the word damage tattooed on their forehead.
Okay, I like this bit, but like I said, I don't want to steal his content. So I think we've seen most of the intro here. I mostly want to look at the bit about Jared Leto's cult and about his creepy behavior. So obviously, go watch the original video if you actually want to see the full original video. I'm here to go over specifically the stuff that I have a hang-up over when it comes to Jared Leto, and the fact that not enough people talk about this. I'm really grateful that Ryan Beard made a video about it, though. It's cathartic.
Recently, there have been some disgusting false allegations that Jared Leto runs a cult. These allegations are complete and utter bullshit. Just because he...
This has got to be... I'm pretty certain this is sarcasm. I can tell it's sarcasm. I've seen the photos. There are photos of the island. There are photos of him with like 20 women in his bed, and there are photos of them with the brand tattoo. I am certain it's not fake.
He calls his fans the Echelon, and he gets them to tattoo Illuminati like...
There it is. I honestly was remembering the symbol as the Deathly Hallows symbol for some reason. I guess it's because it's a triangle. But yeah, this is his cult symbol that he has tattooed on all these women. I will never forget. Regret. I will live my life. And then some Minecraft enchanting table language.
Like triangles on their bodies, and he's been accused of texting a bunch of teenage girls, and he invites his fans to his private island where he dresses up like Jesus, and he makes them all dress in white, and he's sold merch that says, yes, this is a cult, and he's tweeted, yes, this is a cult.
So, when is this going to be the next Epstein Island? That girl is wearing cat ears, or fox ears. That girl is wearing the... You see it, right? You see it. I think it's safe to say Jared Leto is taking advantage of people who are maybe a little bit more on the less mature side of things, even if they're adults. Maybe a little bit on the less mature side of things. Maybe he's taking advantage of his position of power and his, the fact that, like, he can just groom through his audience till he finds people that are, like, vulnerable to this kind of grooming. Yeah, this is a cult. Definitely a cult.
Doesn't mean that it's actually a cult. It's clearly meant to be a parody of cults. Jared's just a bit of a prankster. Texting teenagers from your private island is a classic Hollywood prank. The triangle symbol that Jared has tattooed on his body, and he tries to get his fans to tattoo on their bodies, is a symbol associated with his band, 30 Seconds to Mars. 30 Seconds to Mars is an alternative rock band that came to prominence.
That shit was always on the radio, 24/7, when I was like 8 to 10, living in Tampa, whenever like any alt-rock radio station would come on. 30 Seconds to Mars was always on the fucking radio. They played that shit non-stop.
Since around 2010. One of my favorite moments from their music videos is when Jared looks super sexy while committing war crimes. At the end of the music video, a bunch of tanks and helicopters fly past Jared's head and get stuck to this giant triangle. Now, if you remember, the triangle is also the symbol of Jared's fandom, the Echelon. In my opinion, the message behind this video is that the only way to achieve true world peace is for everyone to join the Echelon. But again, this is not a cult. You can get this Echelon symbol tattooed on you if you visit Jared's private island, Mars Island.
Let's take a look at this. The VIP Village. This is where the salad gets tossed. East Camp, West Camp, South Camp. Jesus Christ, they've got so many people visiting this island. They've got camps set up. Walk on Water Harbor. Good God. Because he cosplays as Jesus. West Harbor. Just a lot of... I guess this is an eating area. This is for, like, looking out at the stars, maybe? Drift Bar? Oh, wait. This symbol represents drift bars. So apparently there are drift bars. There are floating bars. Around. Somewhere. I don't see any on the map. Why would they have that on the map, Legend, without it being on the map? Oh, there's one. Okay, never mind. Jesus. But the South Camp is east. Is he stupid? No. Look. The compass rose is showing... I don't know why on Earth they do this. Maybe because they wanted to be able to fit the island on a horizontal, like, piece of paper. But south is the... What you would normally have is east. They've rotated it 90 degrees to the left here. The compass rose. That's what that's called, by the way, a compass rose. You guys know that, right? If you didn't know that, then, you know, now you do.
Jared also once told his fans that they could have a chance to be in the music video for the song Do or Die if they got lyrics from the song tattooed on their body while chanting, I am the Echelon.
I am the echelon. I am the echelon.
Nothing about this is cult-like behavior. They did this all of their own free will. No one forced them to get the tattoo.
All right, chat. How and when does this all implode? That's the big question. How and when does all of this implode and just end up being a massive scandal that is, you know, like headlines everywhere? Someone dies on the island. Someone ends up going missing. Well, what do you think? I think someone's going to die or go missing after going to the island. Like a family members of one of the people who went to the island are going to report that their family member never returned. And it's going to be a big scandal that just this lady never was seen again after going to the island. It's going to take like 5 women coming forward first. Maybe. 3 years tops, I promise. It's been going for a while. Who knows? It could be decades. Wasn't Epstein doing that shit on his island for literal decades? Like, some of those flight logs things are from like 2002, right? So yeah, literal decades. This shit could go on without it ever blowing up. When conservatives get a hold of it and badly mess up the case, Xander Hall, cough, shoe, I don't think, like, that would be a thing that's at risk of happening. The thing that's actually a problem when it comes to stuff like this, and it would never happen with this drama, this case, I guess, is when someone like Gideon or what were they called? The guy who caught EDP the first time, when they try to make content out of catching pedophiles instead of working with police to do it the right way, which is literally a way in which you can realistically not make any content from it that's actually worth watching. Like, they always get to this point where they either have to make content off of it or they have to actually do something that will impact the world in a positive way by working with the police and doing everything legally. And they always choose in the end to pursue content instead. So the vast majority of the time, these like pedo hunter YouTube channels tend to end up fucking up any case that could have been had against the predator they're going after, which is really frustrating. It's either you can make good content off of them or you can have justice be done. You can't do both. Unless you've got like what Chris Hansen had going on. But even then, it was rarely the case that those people like didn't just get off pretty quickly, despite the fact they got caught going to a place trying to sexually assault a child.
They just did it because they love Jared so much. Look, if you're not a part of the Echelon, then you just wouldn't understand. The band's logo is a cross with the echelon symbol in the middle, which to me seems to be implying that Jared
Well, I think he's trying to play into the idea that he is Jesus Christ.
sees himself as a modern-day Jesus.
Yeah.
This is supported by how he'll regularly dress up like Jesus, and I think this is cool as hell because the Jesus in the Bible is honestly old news at this point, and we've all been looking for an updated Jesus, and I think Jared fills that role perfectly.
He does look like him, to be fair.
This is my outfit as leader of the echelon.
What is that smell?
Just rat and condom stew.
Jesus fucking...
What the fuck? That is a actual rat and an actual condom in that boiling pot. That is rat and condom stew. That was I was actually thinking, okay, it's gonna be like they're not gonna show the pot because there's not gonna. That is a dead rat and a condom boiling in a stew pot. Respect to Ryan Beard for the bit. I'm sure that they didn't kill a rat for this bit. I'm sure they didn't kill a rat for this bit.
As
I think
part
it's a
of my
doll.
method
It might be a doll, but regardless, that was a condom.
acting, I wanted to get this
Wasn't a
symbol
fake condom.
tattooed on my body, but my girlfriend told me that I shouldn't permanently alter my body for a YouTube video, so
This is why, if you're a content creator, you should stay single. Especially, like, having a girlfriend is just, you're always going to have them in your ear saying, no, don't shave your head for a dono goal. No, don't do this dangerous thing for views. No, don't risk your life for content. And that's just not conducive with the grind. And frankly, more content creators got to live the Volcel lifestyle.
instead I just covered my entire body in the symbol with marker while chanting, I am the echelon.
I am the echelon.
I am the echelon.
The echelon.
I am the echelon. I am the echelon. I am the echelon.
Something about
We're doing it together.
covering my body in this symbol while chanting I am the echelon filled me with an insatiable desire to devote my entire life to Jared. But just because I have the urge,
Dude, drawing on your own body like that has got to be difficult, right? Because, like, normally when you're drawing on, like, a piece of paper or something on a table. But, like, doing this, I feel like I'd draw some pretty sloppy triangles. I mean, I guess I probably could draw some pretty good ones, but especially on the side, dude, I'd have a hard time. I'm not very good at drawing.
urge to give all of my money and time and attention to Jared does not mean I'm in a cult. I can leave at any time. I just don't want to. While covering my body in these symbols definitely made me want to devote my life to Jared, I still hadn't become Jared. I had to go deeper. A big part of method acting is how actors will make their bodies look like the bodies of the character they're playing. Unfortunately, though, my body doesn't look very much like Jared Leto's body. Honestly,
I mean, it's easy. You just, like, what I always do is I just lock myself in a dungeon for 30 days, and, you know, it's just the best cut of my life. Don't do that. In all seriousness, though, the best thing you can do, I've found, because, like, okay, I have to do the opposite. I've got an issue where I'm a really bad hard gainer, so I can lose scary amounts of weight fast without trying. I have to try not to lose weight and certainly try hard to gain weight. And one of the worst things that you can do when it comes to trying to like keep weight on is like fasting. And it goes the same for losing weight too. It locks your body into whatever like state it's currently in, doing like this intermittent fasting. It's not good to do. The best thing you can do is eat like lots of small meals, or just straight up fast if you can handle it. But even that's dangerous. You shouldn't do that. Don't fast. But yeah, small meals regularly is the best way. to like get that super slim down fit like look that like all the actors do with their like big body transformations. You just like eat lots of small meals so that you're not like ever feeling the need to have a big meal, and that just does it. It really does.
Honestly, I look a lot more like Paolo Gucci, the character that Jared played in the movie House of Gucci.
Holy shit, that is Jared Leto. Okay, I gotta give Jared Leto credit where credit is due. That is a pretty crazy physical transformation for a role. I'll give him that. That's a pretty crazy transformation.
Jared Leto is 50 years old, but somehow he still looks like he's in his 30s.
Well, that's the adrenochrome.
But I started asking myself, how does Jared look so good for his age? And then I noticed something. In this picture, a trail of red leading down from Jared's mouth. And I realized,
oh my god,
what if the character...
Oh my god. Wait, is he... what? He's actually drinking adrenochrome.
of Morbius isn't a character at all? What if Jared Leto has been Morbius this whole time, and he's been drinking blood for years, and the blood is what gives him his youthful appearance?
This is such a good video. I'm so glad I watched this video. I'm definitely going to be watching the rest of this off stream. I'm going to cut it off here because, like I said, I don't want to show anywhere near the whole thing for any of these videos that I just react to in a positive way without criticism. Because I want to encourage you guys to go watch the full thing. So I'm going to go ahead and blue ball you here. And if you want to see the rest, you got to go down to the description or click this link I'm dropping in chat and go drop some support and watch the original video on Ryan Beard's channel. So yeah, go do that. And you should also comment that I sent you, both for an increase in engagement and because, you know, it's like a trade. I react to your video, I trade you engagement to that video. I'd say it's a valid YouTube transaction.